the mid-90s where the guy killed a guy on the show, like off the show, but like this is obscure reality show trivia from the early 2000s.
Welcome to the Fifth Cheese. My guest, Luke Mcdonnell, comedian, some would say, more things debatable. The first question, as always, is why?
Why what, Brother Damon?
That's a great question.
I was speaking to my cousin yesterday about that sort of thing and critical thinking, and rather than learning the opinions of celebrities, we should just teach ourselves more about thinking. So rather than learning opinions when someone's like, we will re-educate you, learn about thinking better and developing your thinking skills and making your own choices.
Well, actually, following on from that, got a quote here from Mark Twain. Mark Twain said, whenever you find yourself on the side of the majority, it is time to pause and reflect. And I think we can all agree with that, all of us, most of us, in fact. In 1881, there were only 6 men in Britain called Derek. Do you think we've moved on from that, or do you think things need to change still?
Was that 1981, you say?
1881.
1881. There's going to be more Derek. There's going to be more Dereks than that now. And I imagine names like George and Albert are on the decline.
Well, I mean, that's by the by, but in terms of Derek representation, do we need more of it? Do you think the amount it has increased is enough?
I don't know. I would have to look at the ratio of other names. Depending on whether people would consider Derek a good name. I know a lot of people who have a lot of hatred for the name Keith.
That's true. And Karen. Yeah, but do you think we can have too many? There could be a point at which there are too many Dereks.
I don't know, because is Derek a personality type? Do they have certain similar attributes? If they have no similar attributes, then no.
They're probably affable, most of them.
Why do you feel Derek is the name of a good man?
No, probably not. Scientists estimate that there are about 36 contactable alien races in our galaxy. So my question is, what would be the best thing that we could broadcast to really put them off and visit him? Because we're dealing with some stuff at the moment, so let's not have them involved.
Reality television, a show where people compete to find a mate. So like finding a mate and reproducing, that's one of the most primitive things that we could do. It's very simple. You meet someone, you like them, you form a relationship. But people forming a television show out of that and becoming millionaires out of that, and people becoming captivated. But I know it's fine, it's in fiction, it's in all sorts of things, love and romance, but just the way that it's sort of been made into such a product. It's unreality. They're very, very scripted, very pre-prepared now anyway. And I think there were a lot of instances in the past of things happening on shows and on chat shows and reality shows that caused them to sort of change the laws around things. I've got three examples. Jerry McCall would be the most prominent one. That got banned like a year or two ago. There was a reality show in England in the early 2000s on Sky Television called There's Something About Mary, and all these guys were brought onto this reality show to try and date this woman, and they were unaware that it was a transgender woman, and it wasn't revealed to them until they kicked off the show, but the show had already aired like nationally and internationally and stuff.
I remember that. Can I pause there for a second? Hey Google, turn on the floor lamp to 100%. Okay, carry on.
There was one in the mid-90s, I think it was Jesse Jones or something like that. There was a recent Netflix on it where a guy...
Jessica Jones.
No, not Jessica Jones, the Netflix Marvel thing. It was a chat show. They used to have on chat shows back in the day segments like Your Secret Crush. And people would be brought on the show to tell someone that they know fancies them. And the chances are, is it someone hot Or is it someone ugly?
I don't remember that as a format. Maybe I was just watching too much Noel's House Party. I don't know, man.
That was on, but a guy came on and he was on with a friend, a female colleague of his from work, and he thought like they brought him to tell him a woman from the office liked him, but they came
Right,
out and it was another dude, it was a guy from his office, and
right.
this was in the mid-90s, so things were nowhere near as progressive as they are now. So this gentleman was not in good spirits about this reveal, and he said, "I'm sorry, I'm not really into that." And then the other guys sort of kept joking and flirting with him, and the TV show host kind of encouraged it, and the guy was slightly uncomfortable. And then when they got back to their hometown and stuff, the guy apparently like kept flirting with him and like left a like provocative note, and he shot him and killed him, and like I think he got life, and the Jesse Jones show got shut down, and they got sued for like $100 million, and no more Jesse Jones.
Every story ends with someone getting shot. It's good. It's great content. I like it. Wild elephants only sleep for 2 hours a day. What do you make of that?
I don't believe it. I haven't looked it up, but it doesn't sound
True.
something that I would.
Yeah, hold on. Oh, okay.
There was a similar premise like this that I spoke about on Facebook, something that I believed as a child. And when I got to become an adult, turned out it wasn't true.
What's
I
this?
was told when I was young that swans were strong enough to break the arms and legs of a grown man and paralyze them when I was a child. So when I used to go to the park as a kid, I used to fear swan paralysis. And then I shared a meme about that the other day, and loads of people were like, "Really? That's not true. I thought a swan could paralyze you." So there's an urban legend out there that some of you may also believe that a swan could take you out.
Right. Okay. But I think they could still have a good go at you. Do you not? I know. So they can't break your arm. Okay, but they're gonna have a go. I mean, do you not? Do you worry about just swan beatings, just generally?
I think as a child, yes, but I think now I'm strong enough to debilitate a swan very efficiently.
What is that? Is that the neck?
Yeah.
Okay. Like a flare, not a flare, like a what do you break? What are those lights that you break?
Glow sticks,
Glow like a
flares.
glow stick. But you do that to a swan, but it just glows. Doesn't die, it just glows. That'd be weird, wouldn't it? Even now, when I go out, if there's a swan in the way, I think they're vicious. I would avoid swans.
I'm never really in the presence of swans much nowadays. Maybe I'm hanging with the lower class of bird.
You're not going to the right lakes.
I know. Well, in my local park, there's actually no wildlife. It's a big patch of grass, but it's next to like a main road
Are
on the
there
road
any?
in Birmingham.
Right. Okay.
So there's
Right.
just grass and climbing frames. There's no actual. There's nature that's been put there, like it's some green space.
Yeah, but how the bird? Yeah, but a pigeon. So a pigeon can't be there.
Okay, I suppose a pigeon, a squirrel.
There's a visible
If we're
barrier,
talking that,
and a pigeon just flies towards it. Oh fuck.
bzz, electric fence.
Bit expensive when you join down. How much sleep do swans get? Okay, do swans sleep? Yeah. How long for? How long? We'll never know. Adults need, 7 to 9 hours of sleep. What do you think? How long could you go for, do you think, without sleep?
Close to 24 hours.
24 hours. 24 hours, is that it? That's
What do you
weak.
think?
I think
What
you
do you
can
think
do.
could go
I think
longer?
you need to believe in yourself a bit more. I think. What do you think the record is? The unofficial record?
So people have done several days. There was an experiment on Channel 4 sometime in the last 20 years. I can't recall when it was, and that was the challenge. They were challenging people for sleep deprivation, and it was like a game show. And whoever sort of stayed awake the longest over the course of the week, whatever, got money. And I imagine that show severely affected people's health.
No doubt.
I didn't watch it though.
The A record was set at a science fair by a 17-year-old student, Randy Gardner, in 1965, and his record was, have a guess.
6 days.
11 days.
When was this as well? When was it?
1965, when everyone was on acid, so it may not be super accurate.
So that's what I was thinking. Well, not specifically the acid thing, but just in terms of like before the camera quality and recording quality that we have now. If this is just like based on eyewitness testimony, I don't believe eyewitness testimony to anything.
Yeah, how long? Yeah. So you just rocked up.
Some things I do. If it's like, a realistic premise, like the Bruce Lee 1-inch punch, everyone talks about that and was like, how strong was Bruce Lee? Because like you see it on the video, but there's never really been interviews of many people who saw that, and they're like, how much force can you generate in 1 inch with the goes flying? And people are like, did the guy throw himself into it? Or is Bruce really that strong to 1-inch punch knock your ass out?
I reckon I could do it, man. I just feel it.
On 8 out of 10 cats, Sean Locke like tore an apple in half with his bare hands because Jimmy bet him he couldn't do it. He goes, I can tear an apple in half with my bare hands, and he's like, get out of here. And he did it. But I think that must be a technique.
There's a great Would I Lie to You with Bob Mortimer with the apple. It's beautiful. You should doubt the story. It's great. Check that out.
I think I'd be a great candidate for Would I Lie to You, because I've done loads of insane things. So like, which of these things could be, preposterous? They could all be true.
Give me three quick stories, maybe a sentence or something, and then I'll guess the lie. One lie, no, one truth, 2 lies. Okay, go.
Okay. I've fallen 30 feet from the roof of an illegal warehouse rave, hit the concrete and survived.
Truth.
Okay.
Is it?
We'll tell you at the end. We'll get to the end. We'll wait till we got all three.
Yeah, next one.
I was once held hostage in a garage for several hours with my friends at gunpoint. We continued to listen to music and work out during this hostage stand.
No, didn't happen. Next one.
Third, I have represented myself in court in a criminal case.
Yeah, fact. Now you got to score me.
The third one was actually the lie. So I didn't represent myself in court, and I was once held hostage for the day.
I thought that sounded well. What you have to remember is you could still represent yourself in court in the future. And my feeling was you may, at some point, want to do that. So in a way I was right.
The funny thing was, the people who held us hostage, they weren't even looking for me and my friends. They were looking for my friend's brother's friend, but they couldn't find him, and we knew him. And so they were like, we're the only people who we knew, and we're like, dude, it's nothing to do with us.
No. But I mean, did they find him?
No, so it's quite funny. Like, so we were just hanging out, working out in my friend's garage, and then this gang showed up, and they were like, "We're looking for so and so," and they were like, "We don't know where he is." And then they showed us like a machine gun, and they were like, "Well, you better find out where he is." And I was like, we still don't know. They were like, all right, follow this guy and tell him he's got to come down to get beaten up by us. We said, who's going to come to get beaten up by her? Who's going to take such a phone call? And then my friend's dad, who was the local football coach, who was like a positive influence in the community, like a hood film, he came down and talked to them and negotiated our safety and gave them, a positive message about being a good influence in the community. And I was like, wow, man, that shit worked.
It's like a Hollywood movie. Immanuel Kant said, "He who is cruel to animals becomes hard also in his dealings with men and women. We can judge the heart of a man by his treatment of animals and women." Now, with that in mind, Donald Trump is the first president in 168 years to not have a pet in the White House. For you, is that a red flag? Should he have a dog?
Not really. Like I love animals, but I don't have the space nor time for a dog. He does have the space for a dog, but that's not the point. My point is, if you can't show a pet love and attention, then what's the point of having one? It's one of the busiest men in the world, and with the other presidents and whatever, those dogs would have been for their family. I imagine they might spend a minute with the dog, but I don't think they're really chilling with a dog like a normal person is anyway. So the dog is more like a status symbol. Like a picture perfect family, educated children who are photo-esque and stuff like that. So the dog.
What's a picture perfect dog like? Doberman.
I don't know. I like huskies. I like husky looking dogs.
Okay. But what about Doberman? You like them? They're all right.
Those are like different styles of politician. So with Theresa May, I always felt like she was a bureaucrat, and then when they put her in front of the mic to speak, and then she's put against someone who's very like loud and charismatic, it just wasn't her area of expertise. This isn't like a pro Theresa May status. It's more so.
No.
It's just people can't be all things to all men.
Do you think if she had a dog, that would have tipped it?
I don't know.
Do you think Donald Trump? Do you think if Donald Trump gets a dog, I'm not saying a Doberman, but any kind of dog, that will that give him 1 or 2% vote increase? What do you think?
I think that he's going to win with or without the dog. Who they got to go up against him? Like, I love Kanye. You know what I mean? Vote West for a faster, stronger America.
Greenland is an ironically named country because it's not green, is it? It's different color. Do you think that any other countries have ironic names?
Off the top of the head, I'm just literally trying to pull anything out.
The United States,
because they're not
Am
united.
I right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. There you go.
The People's Democratic Republic of North Korea.
Yeah.
The Democratic Republic of Congo. Anywhere it's got democracy or freedom in the name.
Wayne Gretzky, the Canadian hockey player, once said, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take." I put it to you, Luke McDonnell, that you don't miss any of the shots you don't take. Am I right?
Depends. That's like a glass half full, half empty situation. Like I feel George Carlin touched on this a bit before. Have you ever heard George Carlin's bit about near miss and near hit?
Yes. Can't remember that, but yes.
So basically, they call a near miss when a plane safely manages to not collide. And near miss, by George Carlin's definition, is you crashed into something like, oh shit, we nearly missed. By the definition of the words, like, oh, don't worry, it was a near miss. A near miss is a collision.
Right, yes. Yeah, no, that makes sense. So you think it depends on how you see it. So you could argue that you miss 100% of the shots you don't take because you never get to have the opportunity. But
I feel that I feel it's perspective. So
right.
so with something like this, so a good analogy for me with this would be people trying to find a partner, you know, a romantic partner. So some people, if they're not very confident, they might throw less shots into the game, and so they might be more disappointed if, you know, things don't work out their way, if they open themselves up emotionally to someone, or, you know, they go on a few dates or something of that nature, and the emotional scar of that not working out is likely to be bigger if they're not a person who would throw out more shots. So if you're more open to getting rejected, then it would hurt less, and that's why I think some people are good at, you know, picking up, and some people like get a bit scared of it because they're like, oh, someone's saying they don't like me. That's awful. And I'm like, there are so many people on the planet. Some of them are going to like you, some of them are not going to like you. And if you just go through your day bearing in mind that someone who doesn't like you, it doesn't matter. There's so many people in the world. They have their life and their perspective on things. Don't let that carry with you throughout your day unless they have actually any physical effect or influence on your life.
So you advocate for celibacy?
Pardon?
Celibacy is the way to go, probably.
No, I'm not advocating for celibacy. I'm saying don't be scared to talk to someone. But then again, I suppose in this current age with the whole like, hey, who are you? Who, like, you know? But as I say, it depends. I don't know. Like, I suppose that the apps, like, I'm not big on the apps. Like the dating apps, I have used them, but it feels like a fake conversation. I was like, I don't feel you can read my charisma off a screen.
Absolutely. Let me just get your reaction to this. Okay, so since 1996, there's a company called Spirit Halloween, and they make, you know, Halloween masks, right? They make masks and all the Halloween stuff, and they make masks of like the presidential candidates. And from 96, sorry, they've been going longer than that, but from 96, let's start again. Start this again so it makes sense. Okay. Since 1996, a company called Spirit Halloween has correctly predicted the results of the US presidential election based on which candidates' masks sell more. Now, we often think of masks as covering the truth, but could they also reveal it?
I don't know. I've never really thought about that in terms of like masks and like the philosophy behind masks. When I think of famous presidential masks, the one I think of the most is President Richard Nixon, because in loads of films, say back before the 90s, and the armed robbery guys always used to wear like Richard Nixon masks in a film when they're doing a bank job, and because he was seen as a crook, and that was sort of symbolism behind that. I think there are probably other predicting factors other than the sales of the masks. I'm not really into the notion that the sales of the mask. I think that could be correlation without causation. So that could just be a thing that exists at the same time, but it's not relevant.
I think the unpredictable is the continuity of intrinsic creativity. Information transcends the barrier of timelessness.
As in, if something was true before, it will still be true afterwards. Is that what you say?
Yeah, that might be what it means.
There was a good Ricky Gervais bit where he was talking about religion. He was talking about books, and he said when him and religious people talk about books, and they're like, okay, you're reading, you know, Charles Darwin, Richard Dawkins, etc. I'm reading my books. Your books have your beliefs. My books are my beliefs. And then Ricky Gervais said, okay, let's say if we were to destroy all copies of my, you know, books, and then all copies of your books and all traces of them, and then just time was to just play out over time, science would be discovered again over time, and people would rewrite these books because the methods would still be true. When those methods were discovered again, they would come to the same conclusions, and that would be the same truth. He was like, have someone 1,000 years from now who's never seen your Bible rewrite your Bible from scratch.
So we burn the books.
They're already doing it. They're burning the DVD box sets. I predicted League of Gentlemen coming
You
down
did,
off the
yeah, you
services
did, you
like
did.
24 hours before. I was like, I saw it. I was like, the canary in the mines. The mines are dead. Papa Lazaro.
If Donald Trump, if you were the campaign manager for Donald Trump, and he said, "Luke, we need a swing of 2 to 3%, and what will do this, scientifically proven, is me buying a dog. I want you to go out and get me a rescue. Obviously, get a rescue. Get me a dog. What breed of dog do you bring to the table?"
There's a breed of dog that I've seen quite a lot recently, and I don't know what they call. I like them. They're like big, massive, fluffy ones. So they're like the size of us, but they're like big, combed out pimp hair dogs. Do you know the type I'm talking about?
Bushy, like white, bushy.
Yeah, so they're really fluffy. I've seen dark ones, I've seen light ones, but really they're not poodles, but the proper
Like a bison, fish. Pomeranian.
yes, Pomeranian. Yes,
Pomeranian. Okay,
Pomeranian.
let's get there's a Pomeranian. So people know. I'll put a Pomeranian there.
Okay, during the edit. Cool.
Yep. So that's a Pomeranian. Yeah. Okay. Wait, Pomeranian. You reckon a Pomeranian for Trump? What does a
No,
what
just
for
for the
you?
family. I'm just talking about dogs that I like, Damon. I don't have no frame of reference for this.
I'm really thinking. I'm more thinking how the family would like the dog and enjoy it. Okay. Guess what? Joe Biden's on the phone. He's like, Luke, I've seen what you've done for Donald Trump with the Pomeranian. I need you to get me a dog to swing that, get that 3 to 4% back. So it's back in my court. What dog are you going out and getting for Joe Biden? And remember, if it's not the right dog, you're not even black.
That crafty bastard. I think for Biden, I think I'd want a more masculine dog for Biden. I'd want
Okay.
to harden his image. I think if he wants to get people who are on the fence. What were the police dogs? The American sort of police dogs? What were they?
German Shepherds? I don't know what they.
Maybe a German Shepherd.
American police dog breed. So American police dogs are. Well, the Germans have German Shepherds, as you would expect.
They're very efficient, the Germans.
You'd have thought so, wouldn't you? There you go. USA. Oh, okay. There's a Belgian Malinois. Just say it's a dog, Belgian dog. What have we got? We've got Belgian dogs. We've got Belgian dogs. Okay, so Trump has a Pomeranian. Biden has got the Belgian dog. Kanye, what's Kanye's dog? What dog can Kanye get to really tip him over into the presidency? And I know this is a big ask.
I think because Kanye likes to be an innovator, I could imagine him having scientists genetically engineer a new breed of designer dog.
Right. What would it look like?
Very compact, so your girlfriend could fit in a compartment. Like, take the dog out there, play with the dog for a bit, put him away. Like the inconvenience of the dog.
Oh, I thought I thought you meant like a tight unit, but yeah, you mean like easily stored.
No, actually, to be fair though, I can imagine Kim being very nice to dogs. To be fair.
Yeah.
No, I don't think Kanye would be nice to dogs. I don't think Kanye would be unpleasant to dogs. What I mean is,
not a one or the other.
I think he's got a lot to do. I think he's a very busy man.
Maybe we can get a fish. Okay, and
The
the final
first time
question.
I ever got fish, my mum got me some when I was in primary school, and the pet shop we went to, they sold us the fish and they sold us the tank. I was about 7 or 8. I had about 3 fish. My mum took me home with them. We set it up, and they had died within 24 hours. And I was upset. And my mum took me back to the pet store, and we spoke to the same guy who sold it to us. And we took the stuff back, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you need a pump for that tank, and an oxygen pump for the water." My mum was like, "You sold us the fish and the fish tank at the same time, and and he was like, "Not my job to tell you, love." And you work in the fish selling store. Like, it is your job. It is literally your job to inform us how to keep the fish alive that we purchase.
So did you get another? Did you get a pump?
Yeah, we got a pump. We got some more fish, but I didn't care about the second amount of fish because I learned how easily they died. I was just like, I couldn't bring myself to love them.
What did you name them?
I think I did. Yes, Michael Jackson and LL Cool J.
50% still good. And we end, of course, with the traditional last question. What was the 5th cheese of the 5-cheese pizza I once consumed? I can remember 4 of the cheeses, but I cannot remember the 5th. What's the 5th cheese and why?
Monterey Jack cheese.
That's a strong shout. It's a very strong shout. Why are you thinking that? What's going through your mind?
Because it sounds like it might be in like a sophisticated pizza. You seem like a man who would eat at nice places, Damon. I don't think I'd catch you
Not
down
wrong.
like a back alley kebab shop in the middle of the evening with a can of special brew. Doesn't seem your style. So I imagine you to be in places where they would have like fancier cheeses that I haven't tried on pizzas.
What's the most adventurous cheese you've ever eaten?
I don't know. I tried blue cheese only recently with like with wings. Oh, there's a
With
place in
wings. So not only was it mouldy, it grew wings. That's disgusting. So you're going Monterey Jack, and it's not the right answer, I'm afraid.
Has anyone ever
Sorry.
guessed right?
No, not yet. And I've
Do you
done.
change? Do you change it every time? Do you change it? Do you just make it up every time? This is a trick question, like the
I
rest of the questions.
I think that will be deceitful.
What
And
was
with
there a
that,
pizza? Was there even a pizza, Damon?
let's not get too into the detail. What you need to understand is my lived experience is that there was a pizza and it had 5 cheeses. So let's just draw a line under that.
Schrodinger's pizza.
Yes, but there was one. Thank you for joining me, Luke McDonnell, on the
Can I
5th
promote my projects? One
cheese.
sec before I go.
Fine.
Hey, I got a hip hop EP coming out at the end of summer. High Friends, Low Places. And if comedy's back on, I'm looking to put on a Birmingham Comedy Festival show October 8th. Me and Lavelle Smith. Thanks, everybody.
Okay. Is that it?
Yeah.